Have you ever made the mistake of sharing your next move, only to regret it? What if I told you that one of the most powerful strategies you can adopt is simply keeping your plans to yourself? That's right, never let them know your next move. Have you ever felt like you were one step ahead, only to realize someone was already on your tail, waiting for your next move? You're planning something big, maybe a career shift, a business launch, or a personal project. You're excited and you tell a few people. Suddenly, things don't go the way you imagined. People start questioning your decisions, offering unsolicited advice, or worse, trying to take control of your vision. Ever felt this way? That's what happens when you reveal too much too soon. Keeping your next move secret isn't about being deceptive. It's about protecting yourself. By not telling others what you're planning, you keep them from interfering or sabotaging your efforts. You hold the cards in your hand, and they can't predict what's coming next. Success is silent. The real power lies not in showing off your plans, but in letting your results speak for themselves. In a world where everyone's watching, talking too much can be your downfall. If we look back through history, we see that those who kept their next move hidden often had the upper hand. Think about military generals like Sun Tzu, who mastered the art of deception. The most successful leaders and innovators didn't reveal their plans ahead of time. They worked in silence until their vision was fully formed. And in the business world, look at companies like Apple. They never reveal product details until a launch event. This creates anticipation, power, and excitement. They keep us guessing, and that's part of their genius. By keeping things to yourself, you ensure that no one can stop you before you get there. You control the narrative. And that, my friends, is power. Start by practicing discretion. Share only what's necessary and keep some cards close to your chest. And don't be afraid to throw off anyone who's looking too closely at your journey. Misdirection can be your greatest ally. Trust yourself. Trust your instincts. You don't have to tell everyone every little thing about your life or your business. Only share what's truly necessary. This will give you the space you need to grow without interference. Think about it. How many times have you shared your big idea, only to see it fall apart because someone else didn't understand your vision? Or maybe you gave away too much, and now you're left trying to clean up the mess? What if you stopped telling everyone about your next move? What if you stayed silent and just executed, letting your actions speak louder than words? Next time you're planning something big, ask yourself, who really needs to know? How much of your success depends on keeping your next move a mystery? The more you keep to yourself, the more power you retain. And with that power comes the ability to create, to succeed, and to surprise everyone when the time is right. In life, whether in business, personal relationships, or personal growth, one of the most powerful strategies you can adopt is to never let others know your next move. Keeping your plans to yourself can be the difference between success and failure. But why exactly is it so crucial? Let's break down the key reasons in a way that's easy to understand and show how it can offer you a strategic advantage, protect you, and give you psychological power. The first reason why it's so important to keep your plans secret is for the strategic advantage it gives you. Imagine you have a big idea, whether it's launching a new business, negotiating a deal, or even making a personal move. If you share this idea too early or too widely, you risk losing your edge. When you reveal your plans prematurely, you give others the opportunity to interfere or even sabotage your efforts. Others might see your idea as a threat or opportunity, and they may try to take advantage of it for themselves. In the world of business negotiations, for example, if you reveal all the details about your next move, you risk losing your competitive advantage. Imagine you're in a bidding war for a property, and you let your competitor know how badly you want it. Suddenly, they know they can outbid you by just a little bit more. By sharing your intentions, you've lost the element of surprise and given your competitor the chance to use that information against you. You might even end up overpaying for the property, losing your edge, and ultimately feeling like you've been played. The lesson here is clear. Don't share everything. Keep some cards close to your chest so that no one can predict your next move. Hold back information until you're ready to use it to your advantage. The second reason to keep your next move secret is to protect yourself. The more you reveal, the more vulnerable you become. When you share your plans too openly, you give others a chance to judge, criticize, or even betray you. When you open up about your future intentions, especially if they're ambitious or unconventional, people may not always have your best interests at heart. Some might doubt your ability to succeed, while others might use your vulnerabilities against you. This can be particularly harmful in personal relationships, where being too transparent can leave you exposed. Let's say you're going through a personal transformation or making a life-changing decision, like leaving a job to follow a dream or starting a new relationship. You share this plan with a close friend or family member, but instead of offering support, they tell you all the reasons it's a bad idea, question your judgment, or even worse, try to convince others to hold you back. This isn't just about a difference of opinion. This is about your vulnerability being exposed. People can take advantage of your openness to criticize you, push their agenda, or even manipulate you. And sometimes it can lead to betrayal when someone uses your personal details against you in a way that harms your well-being or progress. By keeping things to yourself, you protect your plans and your peace of mind. You can move forward without the constant worry of being judged or criticized. You can find strength in silence, knowing that your next steps are your own to take, without interference from others. The third reason to keep your next move secret is the psychological power it gives you. When you hold your cards close to your chest, you create an air of mystery and intrigue that keeps others wondering what you can do next. This uncertainty can be incredibly powerful, especially in situations where power dynamics are at play. When others can't predict your next move, it shifts the power balance in your favor. People naturally like to feel in control or have an understanding of what's going on around them. But if they have no idea what you're planning, they're constantly in a state of uncertainty. This uncertainty puts them in a position where they're always on the lookout for your next step, and that gives you a psychological advantage. Think about a famous entrepreneur or leader who is known for working behind the scenes on their next big project. They don't share every detail along the way, but when the time comes, they reveal a finished product that stuns everyone. Because their plans were kept secret, they get to control how and when the information is released, and this creates a sense of awe and respect from others. It's the same with your personal or professional life. By keeping your moves secret, you become unpredictable, which makes others respect your space and decision-making. You don't give them the chance to intervene before you're ready to reveal what you've been working on. This psychological advantage often leads to greater respect from others and gives you the freedom to move without their interference. Keeping your next move secret isn't just about secrecy. It's about strategy, protection, and psychological power. When you're able to keep your plans close to your chest, you maintain control over your actions, protect yourself from unnecessary criticism or betrayal, and create an air of mystery that shifts the power in your favor. In a world where the element of surprise is often the key to success, never letting them know your next move is one of the most powerful tools in your arsenal. So, the next time you have an idea, a dream, or a plan, ask yourself, is it really necessary to share this right now? Sometimes, keeping your cards hidden might be the best way to protect yourself and come out on top. To begin, let's look back at ancient wisdom. One of the most influential texts on strategy is The Art of War, written by the Chinese military strategist Sun Tzu. In his book, he famously states, "All warfare is based on deception." This might seem like a bold or even harsh statement, but let's take a deeper look into what it means. Sun Tzu's wisdom isn't just about fighting battles. It's about the art of strategy. He teaches us that the element of surprise is crucial in gaining the upper hand. When you keep your opponent in the dark about your next move, you control the flow of the game. Whether it's military warfare, business competition, or personal endeavors, uncertainty gives you a significant advantage. Sun Tzu emphasizes misdirection, making your enemy think you're going one way, while secretly preparing to strike in a completely different direction. This is what we see in many successful leaders. They don't show all their cards right away. They maintain a level of secrecy, which keeps their opponents off balance, making it harder for them to predict and counter your moves. For example, think about military leaders throughout history, such as Napoleon Bonaparte, who famously used deception as a core part of his strategy. By keeping the movement of his troops secret, he was able to surprise his enemies and often win battles with fewer resources. This principle isn't limited to just wars. It applies to every strategic situation in life. The less others know about your next steps, the more room you have to maneuver without interference. Throughout history, many notable military figures have kept their strategies close to the chest, knowing that revealing too much could cost them the advantage. Let's take a closer look at some of these figures. Napoleon Bonaparte. Known for his strategic brilliance, Napoleon often used misdirection to outsmart his enemies. For instance, during the Battle of Austerlitz, Napoleon feigned weakness to lure his enemies into a vulnerable position, only to strike when they least expected it. His ability to conceal his true intentions and force his enemies to make the first move was a key reason for his success. General Dwight D. Eisenhower. During World War II, Eisenhower planned the D-Day invasion in secrecy for months. The Allies worked tirelessly to mislead the Germans about the location and timing of the invasion. This level of strategic deception helped ensure that when the invasion came, it took the Germans by surprise, leading to a decisive victory. These historical examples show the timeless value of keeping one's plans concealed, whether in war or in life. When people don't know your next move, they can't undermine it, and you keep the upper hand. Now, let's bring this idea of keeping your next move hidden into the modern world. The principles of misdirection and strategy aren't just reserved for war. They also play a huge role in business, innovation, and entrepreneurship. Some of the world's most successful entrepreneurs have built empires not by showing everything they're planning, but by keeping their next big move a secret until the right moment. Secrecy is power. Just like Sun Tzu teaches, keeping your next move hidden can give you the upper hand, whether in business, life, or personal projects. The less others know, the less they can interfere with your progress. Strategy of surprise. Just as historical figures like Napoleon and Eisenhower used deception in war, successful entrepreneurs today use secrecy to surprise and outmaneuver their competitors. Misdirection builds anticipation. Companies like Apple and individuals like Elon Musk show us that keeping your next move under wraps builds excitement and anticipation, creating a stronger impact when the time comes to reveal it. By examining these lessons, we can apply the same principles in our own lives, whether we're starting a business, making big decisions, or pursuing our personal goals. So, the next time you have a big idea or plan, think about this. What if keeping it to yourself would give you the edge you need? In our world, where connections are made with a simple click of a button, it's easy to overshare. We share our plans, dreams, and struggles with friends, family, and social media. But there's a hidden danger in this. When we share too much, we risk losing control, opening ourselves to manipulation, and inviting distractions. Let's break this down and understand how each of these dangers can impact your life. When you reveal too much of your plans or next steps, you lose the element of surprise, which is crucial for achieving success. Think about your favorite surprise announcement or unveiling, whether it's a new product launch or a big life event like a wedding or business deal. When people know too much in advance, the excitement fades and you lose that edge of suspense. If you're working on something big, like a business idea, a creative project, or even a personal life goal, once it's out in the open, others can start predicting your next steps, undermining the surprise. By sharing too much, others, whether consciously or unconsciously, start to plan around your actions, giving them the chance to adjust, interfere, or even outmaneuver you. It can feel like you're suddenly on the defensive instead of moving forward with confidence. Think about a time when you shared your plans with someone and their feedback or actions made you second-guess your approach. Maybe they didn't understand your vision fully, or maybe they point out flaws that you weren't ready to address. This can lead to a loss of confidence and control over your plans, turning your idea into something it wasn't meant to be. When you overshare, you open yourself up to the possibility that others might exploit your openness for their gain. There's a fine line between being transparent and being vulnerable. When we open up too much, we give others a chance to use our vulnerabilities against us. People who know too much about your next move can use that knowledge to influence your decisions. This could be as simple as planting seeds of doubt or as extreme as taking advantage of your emotions or weaknesses. Sometimes, people may not have your best interest at heart. They could twist your words or use your openness to persuade you to take a path that benefits them rather than you. Imagine you're discussing your plans for a promotion at work with a colleague. In the excitement of sharing, you let slip that you're feeling uncertain about your chances. A few weeks later, you overhear them saying things that undermine your confidence. They might have subtly planted doubts about your abilities, making you question yourself when you didn't need to. By being too open, you allowed them to manipulate your perception of your own worth. When you share your plans too early, you invite distractions, some of which come from well-meaning people. But the effect is the same. They can derail your focus and energy. People often share their opinions out of love or concern. A friend or family member may offer advice, but sometimes that advice is based on their own experiences, not yours. And while their intentions may be good, it can end up distracting you from your original plan. By revealing your intentions early, you give others a chance to criticize, question, or advise before you've even had the chance to fully develop your idea. Sometimes, this can lead to self-doubt, even if you had the right instincts to begin with. Constant feedback, whether positive or negative, can be emotionally exhausting. You may find yourself spending more time defending your ideas or clarify your intentions than actually working on them. This emotional energy could be better spent executing your plans rather than responding to every comment or suggestion. Perhaps you share a new project with a close friend or family member. They offer feedback, but the more you listen, the more your enthusiasm for the idea begins to wane. They point out issues that hadn't occurred to you, and now you feel overwhelmed. What started as an exciting new venture now feels clouded by their concerns. The more you share, the more distractions you invite. In conclusion, while it can feel good to share your plans with others, it's important to consider the consequences. By revealing too much of your next move, you risk losing control over your plans and actions, becoming vulnerable to manipulation by others who may not have your best interests at heart, inviting distractions from people who, though well-meaning, can derail your focus. The key is to find a balance. Share enough to get support and feedback when necessary. But remember that some things are better kept private until the right moment. Keeping your next move to yourself gives you the power to act with confidence and clarity without external interference. Not everyone needs to know your next move. Share with those who will truly support you, not just anyone. Prepare for criticism, but don't let it distract you. Stay focused on your end goal before sharing. Ask yourself, what am I really gaining by telling this person? Is it worth it? By protecting your plans, you protect yourself and your journey, giving you the best chance to succeed on your terms. In a world where information is constantly shared and overshared, it's easy to forget the power of keeping things to yourself. But the ability to keep your plans private is a crucial skill that can help protect your ambitions, prevent unnecessary interference, and set you up for success. Let's dive into some thoughtful strategies that can help you achieve this in a humble and purposeful way. The first step in keeping your plans private is to practice discretion. Discretion is the art of knowing what to share, when to share it, and with whom. It's about choosing your words carefully and being aware of how much information you disclose. When we share too much, we open ourselves up to judgment, advice we didn't ask for, or worse, criticism from others. Not everyone who asks for details needs to know them. In fact, there are often people in our lives, friends, family, or co-workers, who might not understand our vision, and they may not have our best interests at heart. Sharing too much with them can lead to them either discouraging us or interfering in ways that slow us down. Be intentional with what you choose to reveal. Before sharing something about your next move, ask yourself, why am I sharing this? And who truly needs to know? Don't overshare in casual conversations. It's tempting to tell others about your plans, but remember that not everyone has the same level of respect for your journey as you do. Keep some things close to the chest. These are the personal details or ideas that you know are crucial to your success, the ones that only need to be shared when the time is right. Imagine you're launching a new project at work. You don't need to tell everyone about your strategy or your timeline, because by doing so, you give others a chance to jump in and alter the course of your plan. Instead, share only what's absolutely necessary and keep your big picture hidden until it's ready to be revealed. Sometimes, complete silence is impossible or even practical, but that doesn't mean you have to give away the full details of your plans. Instead, create layers of misdirection. This doesn't mean lying, but rather sharing bits of your plan that are truthful yet not central to your success. You can mislead without being dishonest. People are naturally curious. The more we withhold, the more they want to know. By strategically sharing information that isn't crucial to your success, you can keep them guessing about your true intentions. Misdirection allows you to control the narrative while leaving others with the illusion of understanding, but without the power to interfere with your core plan. Give partial truths. For example, if someone asks about your upcoming career move, you can share that you're exploring new opportunities without going into the specifics of what those opportunities are or how you plan to secure them. If you must share your strategy, make sure the details aren't central to the most important part of your plan. Share the surface details and let people focus on those, while you work on the deeper, more impactful aspects in silence. Let people believe they know. This creates a sense of transparency without actually revealing anything valuable. It keeps the guesswork in their hands, which is a strategic advantage. Let's say you're building a business. You can tell a friend that you're testing out some ideas without giving specifics on your product, target audience, or the marketing plan you're crafting. This way, they'll feel like they know what you're up to, but they don't. And when the business is ready to launch, it's a pleasant surprise, not something they've already figured out. One of the most important skills in keeping your plans private is learning when to speak up and when to stay silent. This requires you to develop a strong sense of awareness and trust in your instincts. Sometimes, we feel pressure to share our plans with others out of a desire for validation or simply because we're excited. But not every moment is the right moment to speak. There are times when saying too much can lead to unwanted advice, pressure, or criticism. Trusting your instincts means listening to that little voice inside that tells you whether to share something or to hold back. Before you share anything important, pause and ask yourself how it will benefit you to share this. If you feel uncertain, it's often a sign that it's better to keep things to yourself. Not every conversation is the right time for deep personal revelations. Consider the context and the person you're speaking to before sharing too much. It's not always easy, especially if you're excited or anxious to talk about your plans. But with time, you'll develop the ability to stay quiet when you need to and share only what serves you and your goals. You might feel tempted to tell a friend or family member about an exciting new job opportunity. But if you know that they're critical of such changes or might try to discourage you, trust your instincts to hold back. Share the news when you secure the position, and it's a reality, not just a hope or a plan. In a world full of noise and distractions, keeping your plans private can give you the space and focus you need to succeed. By using discretion, creating layers of misdirection, and trusting your instincts, you protect not only your ideas but also your peace of mind. Remember, there's power in silence. It's not about being secretive, but rather being wise with your words and actions. Keeping your next move private isn't about isolation. It's about maintaining control over your path, avoiding unnecessary distractions, and allowing your true plans to unfold in the right time and place. As you move forward, keep these principles in mind and be intentional about what you share, how you share it, and when you choose to speak or stay silent. In doing so, you'll find that the quieter you are, the louder your success will speak for itself. Remember, in life, staying unpredictable keeps you in control, whether it's your career, relationships, or personal growth. Keep your moves calculated and never let them see what's coming next. You hold the power to steer your destiny. So, the next time you face a challenge, keep them guessing. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more insights. Stay sharp, stay strategic. Catch you in the next one.